Welcome to week 3 of Trends and Opportunities. Just getting my stuff set up here. How's everyone doing this morning? Maybe I can get some sort of one-word comment in the chat. Let me know how you're morning. Brendan, good morning. Class is filling up slowly. Is everyone experiencing winter today? Did anyone have to get out and shovel the driveway this morning? Well, where I live, it's kind of north end of Barrie. Bendon, no, thankfully for you. Apparently it snowed here, north end of Barrie and around, but not in. Does anyone live in Aurelia? Can anyone tell me if it snowed in Aurelia last night? Or in Midland? Does anyone live in Aurelia or Midland or in those areas? A little bit in Aurelia, but not much. Okay, it's good to know. Yeah, because I'd say where I live, we got close to a foot of snow last night. I don't know. I'm maybe not a good estimator of snow. I always exaggerate, but enough to bring the snowblower out this morning. Typically, I'll just use the shovel the driveway, not worry, get a little bit of exercise in the morning or during the day if it's snowing during the day. But this morning was definitely a snowblower morning. Got to clear that white stuff away from, making sure the garbage cans can get at the end of the driveway and the cars can get out and anyone coming up to the front door isn't going to slip and fall. Great. Okay, well, we're up to, how many are in the class now? We're up to 14. I think our class has risen in size a little bit since last week. And you probably all can guess why. And it's not because I'm an awesome instructor and a fantastic person. It's because ad drop is over. And we had a few people join. So I will be reviewing that after the class today and adding a few new partners into the presentation schedule. So probably the last few weeks I'll be adding a third person. Okay, so I will be making that sort of announcement either later today or tomorrow. And let's see, today we are going to be going over a module today, like normally what we will do each week. It's going to be advanced pricing strategies. Oh, we still have a few people entering. Then we'll have some time to do the quiz. And then do we or do we not have a presentation today? That is the question. Presentation topics and schedules. Let's see what I think I have. Christian and Prima that are to be presenting today. But I am going to guess that Christian has not been to a class yet. Oh, is Christian here? Christian is here. Just showed up, possibly. And Prima. So maybe, Christian, you can let me know if you're prepared to present today.
It's which Christian are you talking about again? I'm Christian Moore. I'm not
Okay,
until a few
not
weeks
you,
ago.
Christian.
Yeah. Okay.
Haha, sorry to
Right.
suddenly, wake you up really abruptly there. Christian, no, it's not you. I'm just checking last names right now. It's Christian Perez.
Sounds
So
good.
you're good. You're good till week 3 or the third presentation. Yeah. All right. I don't think we've seen Christian Perez in this class yet. And Prima, I don't see Prima either. Well, okay. Well, our class may not be quite as long as anticipated and scheduled. Our first presentation, something happened to our presenters. Not sure what. We will have to find that out. It's definitely not a good thing not to show up to your presentation. All right, what are we up to here? 17. Good. All right. Well, I'll just open it up right now. And first of all, I did ask how everyone was. Nobody wrote anything in the chat. Can we get some sort of indication of how everyone's doing today? And I don't want to just hear fine. All right, unless that's an acronym for something. Ian, thanks for asking. I'm doing pretty good. Slept well last night. Is Ian? I'm doing fairly well. Okay, Brendan. It is week 3. This is sort of when things start to become real. Ad drops over. You can still withdraw from a class, but if you're losing your cash. Adam is typing in something as well. Same old. Yeah, Adam, it's just sometimes that's how it feels, eh? Just like on the hamster wheel sometimes. Is that it? 3 people responding. That's it. We have close to 17 people in the class. Jack, thank you for responding. Doing well. These 8 a.m.s, right? Like, I don't know if we have 4 people responding to how you are doing today. Anyone else listening out there? Bit tired. Okay, I do agree with that. John, you think it's the weather, the time of year, the lack of sunlight, getting back in the routine of school? Possibly it's sometimes that I played hockey last night. Okay, John, I'm gonna have to ask you, where did you play hockey last night? Outdoor rink or was it indoor rink?
Yeah, I just played in an outdoor rink with a couple buddies.
Nice.
Yeah,
And whereabouts was that rink?
in Barrie,
Ah, okay.
in Midhurst actually.
Well, John, I was trying to get at that because I live right near that rink.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's so just to let you know, the first 2 years it was open, I was the person looking after the flooding,
Mm.
and I kind of gave that up for the last 2 years because it's a pretty big responsibility. But the last few weeks since it's got cold, that rink is nonstop people on it. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's a fun time.
did you go? Did they flood and then you went out, or did they? Was it? What was it like?
No, no, we were there late, and then we were there like at the end. We just shoveled it off, and then some guy was maintaining it.
Well, that's awesome that you guys helped shovel.
Yeah, yeah,
That when I remember when I used to flood it, the biggest thing was it'd take me longer just to scrape it than to flood it.
yeah, yeah,
And it's a pretty decent rink though. You like
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good size.
Now it's were the lights, use the lights on it as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. So how many guys did you have out with you?
Myself and 4 others, and there were a whole bunch of kids there. So we had a good game.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
That is fun. With all the lockdowns and that sort of stuff, with rinks closing, you find a lot of the AAA, AA teams will go out there and the little guys will rip it up. So, but have fun. I
Yeah.
mean, rip it up, having a good time.
For sure.
But that's yeah, that's a great spot, John. I'm glad you found that. All right. And let's see. Okay, everyone, we have about 5 responses here of how people are doing. 5 out of 16 people. Well, count me. 6 out of 17. All right, there's still 10 of you that aren't telling me how you're doing today. Not very engaging, that's for sure. Maybe I need to ask a different question in the mornings. Maybe I should ask what you ate for breakfast or something like that. Even if you ate breakfast or ate something when you woke up, or what's your favorite drink or something like that. Okay. All right. Like most weeks, this is being recorded, so you are able to watch this at a later date if you choose to. Okay, let's get into our schedule today. So we will be doing the advanced pricing strategies. Doesn't look like we're going to have a presentation, or sorry, then we'll get into the quiz. It doesn't look like we'll have a presentation, and then I'll take you from the overview to the quiz that you'll have, and then to the learning phase at right after that. So we'll probably end at least a half hour early. Okay. All right. Let's see what I can find here. What I mean is, let me see where I can find my screen, the right screen. All right. Now I've also noticed on the software that you are to purchase that only 11 out of the 20 something in the class that did the first module. So I'm guessing there might be a problem. Is that right? Does anyone have a problem accessing the software or not? Can anyone give anyone that hasn't done it? Because I know there are people on here that have not done the module. Is there an issue that we need to deal with? No issues? Okay. All right, things will start piling up. How do you access them? Okay, let me just show, just in case nobody knows how to access, if we go over to Blackboard here, I'll open up Blackboard for a moment. Blackboard open. I'm not sure if once you're in your trends and opportunities, you can go down to virtual Sims case right here. And just click on that. And this isn't what will happen for you if you access this the first time, but that will take you to the purchase page where you have to purchase. And I have not gone to the purchase point, but maybe if anyone else can shed some light on the process, the experience, any tips or tricks for Adam? Okay, we are getting one person writing here, so maybe there's going to be a tip or a trick, but that's how you access them from what I understand, Adam. Hopefully you are able to do that and get to the information you need to get to. Okay, so let's go to the advanced pricing strategies. And again, when I'm doing this, sometimes it is tough to watch the chat. So if I miss something in the chat, please unmute yourself. Let me know what's going on so I can, I'm just trying to get it set up so maybe I'll be able to watch the chat. It's just a small laptop screen, so not making any excuses, but okay. All right. Okay, gotta watch the chat now. Okay. Let's see. So advanced ticket prices, and let me make sure that advanced pricing strategies. Everyone has access to the concept overview and the case briefing, which you can go in ahead of time and read this. The concept overview is going to be your key to do well on the quiz. So it would be in your best interest to read and understand the concept overview before this class if you want to do well on the quizzes, okay? Quizzes are 30% of your mark. The challenge phase is 30% of the mark. The presentation is 20% of your mark, and the discussion board is 20% of your mark. And maybe we'll just touch on the discussion board for a moment, actually, since I brought that up. Doing much better this week. I see people are still, so I thought that worked out well. Drugs and sport, we'll talk about that maybe I'll talk about that after the quiz. Okay, we'll go back to that. All right, let's get back to the advanced pricing strategies. All right, now these are, last week we just talked about ticket pricing. This week we're going to talk, and if everyone could pull up the concept overview to make sure you can follow along, make some notes on it. All right, but last week we just talked about general ticket pricing. This is some other strategies that pro teams, junior teams, anyone that sells tickets for events, mostly sporting events, but because they're repetitive, week after week, they have a season. It could be for concert tickets too. It would definitely be for concert tickets too. Unlike, say, the Leafs playing in the same home games in the same location. Typically, they play their 41 games in the Scotiabank Arena or whatever, Scotia Center, or whatever it's called. A concert, let's say if Elton John's touring or whoever, I know that really dates me or whatever, but whatever band is touring, they would be the same band playing in a many different venues throughout their tour, many cities, sometimes many countries, and it is based on some of these advanced pricing strategies. Because if you're going to Buffalo compared to New York City, it could be definitely a strategy they would use to price it differently. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. So Atom modules are due at the end of each week or by Monday before the next class. All right, we can talk about that. So we try to do them the week of. So I open a new module each week for you to have access to. Okay. Okay, so let's get into ticket pricing strategies. So sports teams, bands, whoever are trying to maximize their revenue. Instead of setting the fixed price for every game before the season, before a tour, but that usually does set before a tour. Before a season, let's talk sports teams here. Teams may now assess demand on a game-by-game basis in order to accurately price a ticket. And advanced pricing strategies does not mean charging more for everything. It means charging the right amount for everything. So that could be concessions, spiritware, whatever, that parking, the same sort of thing. The right amount boosts ticket sales and increases revenue. So with increased data, the team can now know where a person lives. Okay, if they purchase a ticket online, they may ask these questions. Their social economic status, if they've been to a game before, what they've paid for tickets in the past, or what their motivation going to the games are. So this could be done from market research, or it could be done when the tickets are purchased. So based on this sort of information, plus other information which we'll talk about, a team can accurately price tickets and generate the most possible revenue, and that is the name of the game for these businesses, these teams, these franchises. How do you think that, teams come to be worth $4 billion? And, that is the market value of some of these pro teams. For example, a team may seek out information about how much a customer may be willing to pay for season's tickets or single game tickets. It could then cross-reference that data with the median income of its fans to determine what price most consumers purchase tickets. So a team will use what is called market segmentation, highlighted here, to better accomplish this objective, and that is defined as strategy involving the division of a specific set of customers into categories based on common needs, interests, and priorities, and then designing and implementing strategies to target them. So if we look at that a little closely, so strategies involving the division of a specific set of consumers into categories. So basically breaking your consumers into categories based on common needs, interests, and priorities, and then designing and implementing strategies to target them. So lower income individuals, they might target that they are purchasing the lower price tickets with not the greatest seats, and the higher income individuals, they may target that they're trying to sell the higher price tickets and better seats to those people. Geographic and the most common categories are the geographic, demographic, behavioral, and psychographic characteristics, and we're just going to look at those four things. So you can think of the geographic characteristics, collecting and analyzing information. It's where the customer is located. All right, they probably would say within a radius of the arena. So if you're looking at Rogers Center for the Blue Jays, with more of a semicircle, it could be once you get across the Lake Ontario, expanding that, and it could be the amount of time to travel to it, because Buffalo is a draw for the Blue Jays. As we know, they have their AAA team in Buffalo. Buffalo, who can tell me what the name of that Buffalo team is? Buffalo, someone's got to know here what that Buffalo team is.
Bisons.
Bisons. All right, thanks, Jack. You think they'd be naming after a bird as well, like the mini jays or something like that? That'd be kind of stupid, but bisons. Okay, so geographic is an important. It could be the area a person lives as well. So if it's a lower income area, it could be that geographic portion, but mostly location, just based on location. Then we get into demographic, which is the socioeconomic characteristics of a population, the age, sex, education, income, marital status, occupation, average size of family. That's a lot of stuff in there. And a person that's single, living on their own, or who knows living where, compared to a family, a married couple with 4 kids, are going to be able to afford different price tickets. So a single person would probably, ask their friend to say if they want to go to a game together. They both are buying their own tickets. They can, their income, their disposable income is a bit higher than probably a couple with 4 kids. So they're definitely going to be targeted to purchase a higher price ticket, where a family with 4 kids, if the couple is going out to see a sports team, they're probably paying less than the single people. Or if they're bringing their family, how often would that happen when you're getting 6 tickets and paying for the family to go to a game? Not too often, but maybe once in a while. Behavioral, dividing the market based on customers' knowledge, attitudes, uses, and responses to a particular product. So it could be the opponents that a team is playing. So it could be, someone wouldn't go see Toronto in Minnesota play hockey, but they might go see Toronto in Montreal, that sort of thing. Psychographic, dividing market into segments based upon personality traits, values, attitudes, interests, and lifestyles, or lifestyles of consumers. All right, so it's similar to behavioral, but a little bit different based on the personality traits. So, a person maybe only likes to go to games on weekends or Wednesday nights, because they do Tuesdays and Thursdays they're out playing hockey. Wednesday nights they're free, so that's when they can go to a game. Okay, so those are the sort of the 4 factors of market segmentation. So let's talk about the ticket markets. There's a few ticket markets here, and we have the primary market, and this is where they're selling the tickets. So if we're taking a team, and I don't even know if this is accurate, you take the Blue Jays, where do they sell? What's their primary market for selling tickets? Is it Ticketmaster, or I'm not sure who, because I haven't bought a Blue Jays ticket in a while, but there'll be a primary spot where the Blue Jays release all their tickets to. All right, so that's what the primary market is. It could be straight from the Blue Jays. So that's the primary market. There were companies like, they have Live Nation in here. Ticketmaster is selling the tickets for various, and usually the prices are pretty, you're not going to pay above the face value of the ticket. So if a ticket's a $50 ticket, you're going to be paying $50 in the primary market. So secondary markets, a third party is selling the tickets. So the secondary market would purchase the tickets from the primary market. And then they could, and just examples could be SeatGeek or StubHub or Vivid or something, whatever other areas, other companies sell the secondary market. But then they can resell those purchased tickets for an increased price according to demand, in effort to make a profit. So it could be that, $50 ticket, because of higher demand, is purchased up by the secondary market and is sold for, $75 or $100, depending on demand. Also, individuals will do this, where you can sell your ticket or tickets on a secondary market once you can't make it to the game. You're a season ticket holder, but you want to recover your ticket, your price, your money. So I have friends that do that. So one of my friends does it as a bit of a mini business, where they buy a lot of tickets and resell them on a secondary market. If you want to do that, you can do that. Does it mostly for concerts, not for sports. But you can also find that on the secondary markets, I don't know if it mentions it here, sometimes the tickets will be sold below face value, right? As it gets closer to the game and the demand is lower, like really close to the game, like hours or minutes before a game, if you're down ready to go to a Blue Jays game and you're going to go, there's lots of tickets available, wait right till the start time of the game. Tickets could start to drop because the game has started. You can go in, miss the first inning, I don't know, something like that, and save some money. But because of the secondary markets, teams have implemented more demand-focused ticketing strategies. In recent history, secondary market vendors were taking advantage of the ticket price, and customers demanded inequality by buying tickets at face value and then charging a markup because customers were willing to pay that much in advance. So what happens then? So a team has seen this. So a team's saying, oh, why is the secondary market charging twice as much as we're charging at face value? Maybe we'll charge more. So a team can adjust their accurately price their tickets to the demand 2 hours before a game to compete with secondary market vendors. All right. So advanced ticket pricing strategies in lesson 1, we introduced the static pricing strategies, same price for tickets each home game before the season started. The strategy is wholly inefficient from a revenue generation standpoint. If you just set the same price, it used to be like this. Tickets for every game of the season was the same price. Didn't matter who was playing, when the game was, it would be the same price to go see a Leafs game throughout the year. You knew that. Used to be in Maple Leaf Gardens, they had grays. They used to have their ticket colors. You used to have the grays were the nosebleeds or the cheaper seats, and they had green, and they had the red and the gold, and I think they had blue. I'm trying to remember what was before gray, after gray. Maybe green. I know green was the balconies. They had balconies in there. And then they had the red and gold. Gold were the most expensive tickets, but always the same price every game. But now, as you can see, most games are all based on all these different factors we're talking about, and in particular, who they're playing. So teams now employ 2 main strategies: variable pricing and dynamic pricing, to better account for fan demand, which allows them to generate more revenue throughout the season. So now we're just going to look at these ticket pricing strategies. So variable ticket pricing set different prices for the same seat based on a bunch of different factors, including the day, time of the game, opportunity for the opponent, variable prices. So let's look at the Jays. We know they play typically 162 games a year, 81 games at home. Some of those games are midday, when people are working. So they could be an afternoon game, usually on your getaway day, the last game of a series. So if it's a 3 or 4 game series, usually the 3rd or 4th game, that last game of the series is always a midday game, so the team can travel at the later in the day. So those midday games, if people are working, probably prices are going to be a little cheaper. Popularity of the opponent, like I mentioned, it could be Minnesota Wild coming in compared to if it's Tampa Bay. Maybe Tampa Bay is the top team because they won the Cup last year, or maybe they're a crap team. Who knows? The goal is to drive the demand for certain games with low prices and maximum revenue. Again, trying to maximize revenue. Dynamic ticket pricing. So the variable, based on a bunch of different factors. Dynamic pricing set in real time based on the measure of demand. So based on demand and the price elasticity to particular game. Factors are considered, including weather, secondary market prices, winning streak potential, statistical moments. So let's say someone's going to score their 50th goal in 50 games or something like that, or maybe it's their going for a 200 shutout, or who knows, something like that. Different, maybe they're playing their 1,000th game, or maybe didn't Thornton just play like a 1,700th game or something like that? 1,700, which is getting pretty close to the top of the heap for hockey players and the amount of games. Can anyone confirm that with the Thornton just played? Any hockey fans here? I know we do have some. Okay, if you're checking that, let me know. So just so confirm that I'm not crazy about that. I heard that. So dynamic ticket pricing, weather, secondary markets, winning streaks is the one. Then there's the other one, which is option ticket pricing and personal seat license, which is something that I have never paid for. Has anyone here ever had seasons tickets and paid for a personal seat license? In their family had those season tickets? Thanks, Trevor, for confirming that little piece of information that I store in my brain, but can't remember what I had for dinner last night. But I remember that Thornton just paid his 1700th game. I think I remember that because I think he's in the top 10 anyways of all-time games played, and I think he's probably he may pass that. I guess that goes to say that how healthy he's been over his career. You just don't get to 1700 games with lots of injuries, that's for sure. Okay, so nobody's has any personal seat license experience or stories that they can share? Nothing. Okay. All right. Well, this option is used by seasons ticket holders, and it kind of gives what it is. You're paying a fee on top of the tickets and the price of the tickets that gives you that first right on the season's ticket. So let's say it's any pro sport probably now charges a personal seat license, and you get that first right to buy all those tickets and usually people don't buy one ticket, you have two tickets, right? Otherwise, you're going to be going to the game all by yourself. Front of the line to purchase. This is very popular, the NFL. And has anyone experienced any other type of ticket pricing? Anyone gone to any sort of concerts or sports events where they've experienced any other sort of pricing? So last second, you went to a concert and it was really cheap. Yes, so that's sort of like that ticket strategy of what we're talking about here. It's it could be a dynamic ticket pricing. So it could be that weather or just that time of it, just sort of the price, it's high the night before, day before, and then right before an event, it does get really cheap if they're not selling out a lot of stuff. Thanks, Adam. So customer feedback. A team will analyze customer feedback to determine whether its initiatives were focused on acquiring a consumer's business or whether they were focused on acquiring and retaining customers' long-term client. So ticket prices are a main concern for customers. If a customer does not feel like they receive the level of value, if you ever go to and play, and this has happened to me a few times. So you buy your ticket to go see your favorite team. You go to the game, and maybe it's like an expensive seat. Maybe you don't usually purchase a higher paid, price ticket, or even just that you don't go to games very often. You go, this is the one game I'm going to this year. I'm going to see the Leafs play, and it's going to, they're playing whoever, and then they play like crap. Like they just lay an egg, and it's like, man, I just feel like you wasted your money and you didn't get your value out of the price you paid. So, and you may not go back to a game for a while. Teams would like to retain customers. You're only as good as that product you put on the ice or on the field or on the court. But we know that, for long-term clients, like Toronto is definitely an anomaly where the Scotia Center or Scotia Place or where the Leafs play, they're sold out all the time. So they have long-term clients. They have people waiting to get tickets. So they're kind of in a unique situation where, if you're going to see the Buffalo Bisons and that's your team, I don't know if they ever sell out games. All right. But, that is based on all the factors of people wanting to see that team play. long-term client. Okay, so if you have a good experience, there's a good chance that you're going to come back, spend more, and even sell you're going to tell people about your experience to friends and other people that may have wanted to go. Okay, now we get into the key terms that were mentioned here. So dynamic pricing, market segmentation, personal seat license, secondary market, and variable pricing. So these are terms that were talked about during this concept overview. All right. Not a lot of questions came up there. I was watching the chat. We have a good attendance today, which is nice to see. So, oops, didn't want to do that. Okay, where am I here? All right, virtual business case sims. Let me just, what I will do right now is open up the quiz for you to complete. So the quiz has been opened. It is 8:42, and what we'll do, 1:45, I'll give you until 9:10 to complete the quiz. All right, I'll just put that in the chat. So the quiz is open, and I'll say 9:10. Okay, so I'll just mute myself. I think I can pause the video. Let's see if I can pause this or not. I'll just pause the video for a bit, and I'll start recording